Hello, my dear listeners. My name is Kishore Ganesh, and in this episode of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, I'll be reviewing the Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, starring Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Danai Gurira, and others. It is directed by Ryan Coogler, who also has the story credits for the film. Once again, I have watched this film in Chennai and they're recording straight from here as well. And before I begin the review, I want to share an interesting anecdote about my experience watching the Black Panther films. I watched the first Black Panther film that came out in 2018 in Delhi, and this current one, as I mentioned before, in Chennai. So I didn't end up watching both the standalone Black Panther films at home. Maybe I'll break the streak with the next one, or maybe I won't. Does another metropolitan city await me? Who knows? Black Panther is a special franchise for me, and I'm glad that there is a fun side story that's gotten added to my experience of watching it. And now, without any further ado, let's head straight into the review. Wakanda Forever is the work of one of my favorite directors who makes films under the Marvel umbrella, Ryan Coogler. And it is Ryan's vision for the sub-franchise at the MCU that helps us and it to navigate the razor-thin edge that the franchise finds itself in post Chadwick Boseman's death, a truly tragic loss. And to his immense credit, Ryan has come up with a superb story that both pays tribute to this icon and sets up the future of this franchise. Letitia Wright is given the keys to maneuver this heavy duty machine that she somehow has to pilot with tremendous grace, and I should say that she pulls it off. She is supported ably and beautifully by Winston Duke, who delivers a tender and sensitive performance, and Angela Bassett, who absolutely owns the role of a queen. She puts in a regal and powerful performance that convinces anyone who's watching that they are in the presence of the Queen of Wakanda. Lupita Nyong'o is called back to play her original role, and Dominic Thorne as Riri is brought in to fill that Iron Man-shaped hole in the MCU and in our hearts. How convincing it will be will only be known based on the future films. Tenoch Huerta and Martin Freeman are both superb, and as is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Basically, almost all of the primary characters play their parts extremely well. The underwater world imagined by Ryan Coogler is beautiful, but also blurry and dark, as is the case with the actual ocean too. But I already like it more than the underwater world of Aquaman. The superb script, production value, and direction makes this film an entertaining watch, and of course, that killer music from Goranson, who brings his A game again to the party. Side note, all of Wakandan music, inspired by actual music from the African continent, sounds somehow familiar to me as a Tamil from South India. The words might be different, but the rhythm of those words and the music seems very familiar to the folk music of my people. To get a taste of my people's music that has seeped into popular culture, listen to the song called Enjoy Enjami by D and Arivu. D and Arivu are the singers. Just Google this and it'll tell you the rest. And the song basically marries these two sets of cultures. Maybe hearing that will be a better articulation of what I'm trying to get at rather than the 2 to 3 lines in this review. And last but not least, the tribute to Chadwick Boseman that exists in the film but translates to real life as well is somehow absolutely perfect and satisfying. Rest in peace, Chadwick. And take a bow, Coogler and Marvel. On the whole, Black Panther is a really entertaining, touching, and complex film, one that was extremely necessary for the MCU, and from its numbers, one can already see that it has resonated with a lot of people. Ditto with this podcaster, fan, and reviewer. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh. This is the Vocal About Visuals podcast, and thank you, my dear listeners, for your time and for listening. If you like the content, please do consider subscribing to this podcast on YouTube and on your preferred podcast platforms. Give my socials a follow at Podcast Plural on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.